We need courage to live and to speak the truth and to live life to the fullest. If you're not living in courage, then you're living in fear. And it's not very fun. I've been there, done that, done my time, and I'm ready to live my days with courage now. It's a choice. It's either courage or comfort zone. We can't have both. If you give me a few minutes, I'll explain to you what I mean, and I've got some strategies on how you can live with courage today so that you don't have to live life not to your fullest. So my name is Vicky Lord, and I'm going to speak with you today about 5 tips on how to create more courage in your life. So first off, how do we not live with courage? So we don't live with courage when we don't give ourselves the time to really believe in ourselves. And this happens for a few reasons. One is not keeping the commitments to ourselves. Is we make a commitment to ourselves and we're like, I'm going to commit to doing, say, 20 minutes walking each day. And then the next day comes and you don't do it. So then you've broken the commitment to yourself. And it's a gradual process where breaking the commitment to yourself, it lowers your self-respect. You may not be like hugely obvious, but it's happening in the background of your mind. It's like, I haven't kept a commitment to myself, and then lack of self-respect and self-worth will lead to a lack of courage. So it's like a snowball. So the first thing is not keeping our promises to ourselves, and not keeping the promise to ourselves makes ourselves not a priority. And when we're not a priority, we're not going to make others around us like that either. There's an old saying, I want to give people the best of me, not the worst of me. And we do this by making ourselves a priority with our health and our mind and all the beautiful things we've been given in life. We get lost in business for days or lost in the busyness of the house, and we don't take the time to go and have some time to ourselves. So that creates a distraction in our thought life, and then we don't think clearly. So we want to be sure that we give ourselves time to think. It's that old saying, I don't have any time to think. So we need to work on that. And another thing would be is that when we're not taking the action to keep the commitment to ourselves, we often don't do what is for the highest good. So then we feel regret, and there's all these different emotions that play out as a way, just because of the simple not going for the 20-minute walk. So that commitment to yourself goes a long way. And the last thing that I want to say about why we do not feel like we can take the courage is because we do not actually feel like we cannot take the courage. And I'm going to explain why that is in the next 5 steps that I'm going to give you. But the fact is that you can change your feeling to feel that you can take the courage. So life needs courage, and how are we going to make courage doable? Let's go through this. So number 1 is to make time to be with your thoughts. So in a really busy world, often we don't take the time to think. There's an old Bible saying that says, take every thought captive. And a lot of people don't do that. They have a thought, then they turn the thought into an action. And so they haven't taken the thought captive. It's turned into this big ordeal. And so we want to monitor our thoughts. So the thought turns into an intent, and the intent turns into an emotion. It's all this amazing creation that's happening. It starts with the mind. So we take the mind captive, every thought captive, and if it's a good thought and you want to turn it into an intent, then do that, and then you'll feel it in your body and you'll take action. But if the thought is not a good thought and it's going to not be kind to you or others, then you wouldn't want to turn that thought into an intent. So you can take your thoughts captive and choose what you want to believe and what you don't want to believe. So take the time to monitor your thoughts, and you don't have to accept every single thought that comes into your mind. Okay, so then you want to work on your feelings. So because your feelings your feelings are like a great storehouse, and it's kept you where you are now. And that can be great, and it can also be a bit of a challenge. So if you're not where you want to be because of a lack of courage, that means that your body has the feeling of the lack of courage. And so when you're coming through, so say you have a thought and your thought says, I can't do it because this person will not like me. That thought, you then feel it in your body. And so your body, it amplifies, it makes bigger, and it grows the thought in your mind. So to break it, we need to work on our feeling. And so instead of having the thought, oh, this person won't like me, change the thought to, I am lovable. And then when your body says back to you, no, they won't like you, then you just have to speak to your body and say, you know, I know you're trying to protect me. We've lived this way for so long that I don't have courage and people don't like me, but I've decided to change now, and I'm lovable and I have courage. And so then you've got to break the habit of the feeling. And you do that again by choosing your thoughts really wisely. So monitoring your feelings and your thoughts, because they go hand in hand, is tip number 1 is the thoughts, and tip number 2 is the feeling. And then you want to take some time to do something for you. So because we live in such a busy world, dropping kids to school and, you know, cooking and running a business and doing all these wild, wonderful things that life gives us, sometimes we forget to take that 2 minutes or a few minutes to do something for your own self-respect or something for your own self-worth. And it can be something so simple. It can be something like getting some fruit and spending some time with the fruit and saying, I'm going to nourish myself. And you chop the fruit like you're making it for a party for a friend, and the friend is you. And so spending some time with yourself because you're worthy and you're super special. So take some time for you. What do you want to do that is that you can love yourself with? So next thing you want to do is speak it out loud. So the universe is always listening. It's a wild, wonderful thing. And it's listening to our energy, which is our feelings. And so if you want to create in your life, the universe loves to hear it. So you can tell the universe your hopes and your dreams. Say, I want to live a life full of courage, or I want to live a life where I eat nourishing foods. And so you tell the universe what you want, and then you thank the universe, because the universe is in perfect sync where it gives to us what we want. So being gratefulness is an old saying as well, that you enter into the courts with thanksgiving in your heart. So if we want to enter into the receiving, we go through with thanksgiving, and gratitude is also another way. So it's like grateful and thankful that the universe is giving and receiving. Like freely we give and freely we receive. So we give our words to the universe and we receive from the universe. It's amazing. So you do have friends in higher places in the universe. So speak. I love to hear from you. And the 5th thing is, know that you can build your courage. You know, it looks like some people are just born with courage, and it looks like some people just struggle and feel the hurt of courage. And I was probably one that struggled and feel the hurt of courage, while it looks like others didn't feel that. And everybody has a different upbringing, and we can't judge anyone on their upbringing. Somebody may look like they've got all the courage under the world, but they might actually be having the sweat of success going, like, what is going on? And they're freaking out, but they're still doing it. And so the difference is some people make the action. So our comfort zone is what you can't have both. You can't have the comfort zone and the courage zone. You've got to choose. And so when we're moving towards courage, we've got to realize that our comfort zone was there for a purpose, and it served its purpose now, the comfort zone. But now you're ready to grow past it. And so you're choosing to have the courage. And if it may be the sweat of success that you need, it may be an awkward conversation, You know, stepping out of the comfort zone is a wild, wild world, but you can do it. And it's just the choice. It's the choice of courage zone or comfort zone. And if you're watching this video, then my guess is that you've chosen the courage over the comfort. So that was it today. Hope you found that useful. If you found it useful, like and subscribe. Love to have you as a viewer. We drop videos every week.